Hi, my name is Lourens and I like to play with swords. I've been doing HEMA for around 3 years now. HEMA stands for Historical European Martial Arts, in which we study European sword fighting. Sword fighting with these, for example, a saber. What we do is we find old manuals from the early to late Renaissance, written by the old sword masters, and we read them through and we try to practice what they taught in modern day. Since I was a kid, I was always interested in, knights and the samurai. I'd always been looking forward to new movies, reading books about them. When I got a little older, I really wanted to do it myself, so I started looking for clubs. Lucky Singapore has a club called FEMAS, and now here I am, 3 years later. I practice two sword styles. One is the saber, my favorite style of sword, and one is the longsword, which is what most people start with. For longsword, I study a German style called Mayers, but I started on an Italian style called Fiore. It started out as just being an interest for fun, but recently with university, all my assignments and my exams, it's actually been turning out to be quite a good form of stress relief. Swinging a sword 100 times is a pretty good way of getting rid of your frustrations. When we're sparring with other people, we use a lot of safety equipment, because these swords, they're made of steel. Despite the fact that they're not sharp, they can still break your bones. That's why safety is a very high priority inside HEMA. Let me demonstrate. Still fine. What I'm wearing is actually an abomination because it's a Japanese hakama, but I've worn it in such a way that it looks like Renaissance-style European pants. If you have a sharp sword, you want to practice how to cut with it properly, right? Doesn't matter if you're using Japanese swords, European swords, even though there's slight variations on how to cut with specific swords. In the end, overall, it's still cutting with a sharp object. Me practicing tamashigiri, you could also say that I'm practicing for all the swords I have. My saber, my longsword and my katana. The two aren't mutually exclusive. You can train HEMA and not train tamashigiri, you can do both. I like to cut with sharp swords as well as fence, so I do both. I can see the potential of, people calling the police, for example, when we're training outside. That's why we're very careful with where we train. Most of the time we train indoors in a sports hall of a club, or on a rooftop, or in selected HTB estates where we know we can. The difference between HEMA and Olympic fencing is more of a sport, while HEMA, as in the name says, is a martial art. There's a fun example we always use. In sport fencing, if you stab your opponent 0.2 of a second before he stabs you back, you get a point. In a real life fencing situation, if I stab you, you stab me, we both die, so we both lose. HEMA might not be as popular as Olympic fencing, but there are still quite big tournaments in Europe and in the States. Right now in Asia, it's still growing, it's still fairly new, but in the future there will definitely be tournaments I could be training for. However, right now, it's a hobby I cherish very much. Cleaning up is just as important as the activity itself.
Thanks for watching this video. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Click on Lourens to subscribe to Stirr. Click here for more of our videos and ring the little bell to be notified of any of our new content.
Bye.